The business didn't fail because people stopped vaping or because competition was too strong. It failed because one early decision locked the owners into costs, habits, and expectations the shop could never support, and every mistake after that only made the outcome inevitable. This story, shared by Reddit user NuclearSpark on July 31st, 2014, follows two friends who decided to take over an existing vaporizer shop rather than build one from scratch. On paper, it looked like a shortcut into business ownership. In reality, it meant inheriting problems they didn't fully understand and costs they couldn't control. The shop wasn't newly leased or purpose-built. It was a struggling store taken over as is, and the reason it struggled became obvious almost immediately. The location was poor, tucked into a heavily Korean neighborhood, where most traffic passed through only to reach two large brand-name stores nearby. There was no natural foot traffic, no destination appeal, and no reason for customers to linger. Sales reflected that reality. Most days brought only a few window shoppers and very few real transactions. Weekly revenue might include a single sale over $50. A sale over $100 happened once, maybe twice a month. Toward the end, even making $50 in a full day felt like a lucky break. Despite the lack of demand, the shop was staffed as if business were booming. 4 employees were scheduled at once in the early days, paid below minimum wage and often under the table. When one employee quit, wages for the remaining staff were cut even further. The hours were long, the pay was meager, but unemployment made even bad pay feel preferable to none. The physical space only made matters worse. The store was far larger than necessary, with roughly a third of it sitting unused before eventually turning into a break area. For a vape shop, it was oddly designed, complete with 2 bathrooms, when one small unisex restroom would have been more than enough. The space had already been reduced once to make room for another shop, yet rent still appeared high relative to revenue. In some months, total profit couldn't even cover rent, let alone payroll. Compounding the issue, the new owners walked into existing debt. Whether it was overlooked or willingly accepted, the burden was there from day one. Much of the borrowed money seemed to go toward appearances rather than fundamentals. Expensive display cases with broken glass, multiple flat-screen TVs, couches and love seats, and artificial plants filled the store, creating a polished look without fixing the underlying business problem. Operational discipline continued to erode. One of the owners, initially engaged and well-liked, gradually pulled away as results worsened. He stopped showing up regularly, even though he was responsible for creating house-made vape flavors that customers specifically came in to buy. Because he wasn't present, popular products stayed out of stock. When he did show up, he frequently promised special deals or favors to customers, insisting only he could fulfill them. When those customers returned and he wasn't there, they left frustrated, and many never came back. Cash management became the final leak in a sinking ship. While basic expenses like cleaning supplies were necessary, the register increasingly doubled as a personal wallet. Small withdrawals for soda or snacks became a habit, then a daily occurrence. $5 here, $30 there, sometimes to cover employee lunches. In a business barely bringing in cash, it meant spending money that simply didn't exist. The shop lasted roughly a year before closing sometime in June. It didn't collapse from a single catastrophic event. It failed through a chain of decisions that started with taking over the wrong business in the wrong location, then continued with unchecked costs, weak oversight, and casual treatment of scarce cash. By the time the doors closed, the outcome had been decided long before the final day.